break it down with DJ C Combat.
In the post-fight presser, Tatiana Suarez, she called her shot and she wants a title shot, acting like Yan Xiaonan doesn't exist, but honestly, I'm biased in favor of Suarez, so I say, screw Yan Xiaonan, give Tatiana the automatic title shot. Even though that's not fair, I get it. She beat Jessica first, Tatiana did it after, but I can dead ass just see the UFC leapfrogging Yan Xiaonan and be like, you know what? Tatiana seems a lot more promising. She seems like someone we really want to promote as like the next big thing. So they just might give her the shot. Or what they might have to do is they just might have to do Tatiana versus Yan in December, because I think the winner of Weili Lemos is going to take the rest of the year off. I know this will be their only fight this year for both of them, but usually a lot of people who fight in August, I mean, sometimes they'll turn around 2-3 months later, 4 months later, but in this case, I see Weili like winning this and then coming back in January, or if Lemos wins, same thing, right? Or maybe she'll come back sooner, but let's say Weili does win this fight. She's going to take time off till like the New Year's. So in that case, I think what should happen is late this year, they got to do Tatiana versus Yan Xiaonan. Otherwise, they might just have to give Tatiana the title shot, because at this point, I think Tatiana Suarez versus Weili Zhang is the way bigger fight. Although the China versus China matchup between Weili and Yan is promising, matchup-wise, it's pretty obvious who would win that fight, whereas Tatiana is a bigger threat. Now, let me read the quote of what she said, even though it's already showing on the screen. She said, I think that I match up well against them. I think I match up well against everybody. True. I think that I'm going to be a world champion. I agree. I think I'm the best in the world. Amen to that. And I'm going for that strap. So whatever they want to give me, I'll make it happen. But I do believe that I deserve to fight for the title. I don't know who's going to win, but I want the winner. But I like how she's not entitled here. She wants the title shot, but she said she'll still face whoever the UFC gives her. So if she has to go backwards and fight Dern, she'll do that. If she has to go backwards and reschedule the Verna fight, she'll do that. If they want a title eliminator with Xiaonan, she'll take it. And I think Xiaonan versus Suarez is the fight to make. But Yan Xiaonan will decline the fight because she knows that it's not a good matchup for herself. She already got destroyed by Carla, and now she has to fight a better version of Carla. Yeah, last time she had to risk her title shot against a wrestler. How did that go? So it would be the same result against a different person. So Yan would be smart not to take the fight, but I do think they should make the fight. Now, let's talk about Tatiana Suarez versus Weili versus Lemos. So if Amanda Lemos wins, that's an easy matchup for Tatiana, and Amanda Lemos has 0% chance of beating Tatiana Suarez. I know it's MMA, anything can happen, but all Amanda Lemos has is a puncher's chance. Her only path to victory is, I have to just defend takedowns and hope to outstrike Tatiana. But that's literally everyone's game plan for Tatiana. So far, it never works. And with someone of the caliber of Lemos, she will not be the first. I mean, she can always catch Tatiana, but I don't think Tatiana's going to get caught. I think she'll get a takedown on Amanda relatively easily, and Lemos offers nothing off her back, and she'll get finished on the ground. She'll get submitted the same way Tatiana submitted Jessica, the same way Jessica submitted Lemos. So pure domination, and that's a lock right there for Tatiana to become champ off her. I mean, if Lemos wins, she's not going to be champ for a long time. Either they'll do a rematch with Weili, and I'll pick Weili to win again because I just think Weili is so much better. And I think Xiaonan can beat Lemos, and Suarez definitely beats her. Now, let's talk about Suarez versus Weili Zhang. Now, this is a way tougher fight for Tatiana. Tough matchup and dangerous matchup for both, because Weili's the champ, and she's been so for a long time. Two-time champ. Very well-rounded fighter, and she is ever evolving. You know, not only is her striking threatening. Not only does she have power, not only is she explosive, but she can also wrestle, and her ground game is really, really good. And she's got hella experience, high fight IQ, and she comes from a great camp, a really good team around her that I think they could definitely come up with a good game plan. Compared to Amanda, Weili actually has the legit skill of a dominant champion. So this wouldn't be an easy fight for Tatiana Suarez, but Tatiana, I believe, is a bad matchup for Zhang Weili because Weili in the past has shown a vulnerability to be taken down. And not only that, Jessica Andrade at least knows how to get back to her feet. She's always been hard to hold down. A lot of other girls that Tatiana's fought, they know how to get up, like Carla. But Weili has always struggled getting off her back. You know, the first time she showed an ability to get up was against Carla Esparza. But that was mainly because Carla is just so much smaller than her, right? But Weili does not have good get-up ability. Usually you take her down, you're keeping her there. Just watch her fight with Rose Namajunas. And if Rose can take you down and keep you down, I can only imagine that Tatiana Suarez would do the same thing. And off Weili's back, she has literally nothing to offer with her short legs. I just think Tatiana's top control will be too good for her to be caught by any submissions from Zhang Weili. Way too smart with her overall positional awareness. Now, when it comes to the ground fighting, Weili, I can see her being active from bottom, you know, with the elbow. She might even actually cut Tatiana from off her back and do some damage, but eventually, the longer they're on the ground, Tatiana will just win the transitions and pass guard, find even more dominant positions, and end up doing more damage from the top herself, which could, as the fight goes on, could eventually lead to a finish. Maybe Tatiana could get a ground and pound TKO, or maybe she can even find a submission. But I do think, you know, early on it would definitely be a dangerous fight. Because Zhang Weili, you know, she's very explosive, fast with her punches, great timing, but she also has effective pressure, very good at cutting off the octagon, and she's got fast kicks that are very hard to catch. So I can definitely see her having moments where she does connect on Tatiana Suarez. She might do a bit of damage on the feet, but it's only a matter of time before, you know, Tatiana level changes, gets a hold of her, and gets a takedown. And honestly, I don't expect much resistance from Weili up against the takedowns of Tatiana Suarez. Not like she was able to do to Carla, because Tatiana is a much better wrestler than a Carla Esparza. And the way Weili was able to beat Carla, you know, at her own game with the wrestling, she can't do that to Tatiana Suarez because Carla was just too small, you know, in comparison to Tatiana, who's bigger and, again, a better wrestler. So that's not going to work. You know, it's going to be very difficult for how Weili can approach this fight. Like, because if she tries to close the distance, then Tatiana can counter her with a level change. But she can't outside fight Tatiana Suarez. She'd really have to find a way to, like, set traps on the feet that would, like, make Suarez hesitant to engage with her wrestling. And if anyone can do that, it is Weili Zhang. But it's easier said than done. And I just think that Weili is just going to have a hard time keeping this fight in her wheelhouse, which is the striking. It's going to be hard for her to be able to, you know, connect her punches without running into a takedown. It's going to be hard for her to defend the takedowns. And even if she is, you know, like I said, offering up some resistance off her back, eventually Tatiana, she's just going to adapt, and she's just going to dominate, you know, where she's stronger, which is the grappling. And I think all that grappling gradually over the rounds is going to exhaust Weili, because in comparison to Tatiana, her grappling cardio isn't as good. Like, this is natural to Tatiana Suarez. She can chain wrestle all day without slowing down. So that's definitely in her favor. And I feel like the longer this fight goes, with all the grappling they're going to do, I think round by round we'll see less resistance from Weili, and she'll be less dangerous. And I think this fight will be even more dominant and one-sided in favor of Tatiana Suarez. And I believe we just might see a late finish from Tatiana Suarez. But with that being said, I know how good Zhang Weili is. She's the best strawweight in the world right now. And if anyone is going to stop the rise of Tatiana and give her her first loss, it's going to be someone of the caliber of Zhang Weili. But then on the other hand, if anyone is going to dethrone the great Zhang Weili, I believe Tatiana is the one. And I cannot wait to see this fight. And we are going to find out when it does go down somewhere in 2024. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.